Thank you. Merci beaucoup, Dr.
Thank you very much for this wonderful intervention about how you have seen faith as a source of celebration and a source of love. So now we are going to listen to Galkande Dhammananda, who is going to talk to us about Buddhist traditions. He is a Sri Lankan monk of the Dhammananda Buddhist tradition. He's going to talk to us about how social healing can be possible, and he's going to talk to us about his initiatives too. Over to you.
Good morning. I will try to address the theme based on my training and some personal experience. The emergence of religion is often discussed as a result of divine intervention or as the fulfillment of inner qualities developed by a human. This is how religions themselves narrate their emergence. I, as a Buddhist, learned all these stories about the emergence of Buddhism as a child. However, later I learned almost all religions have emerged in societies that were facing huge conflicts, wars, and oppression. It is the same for Buddhism as well. When we examine the teaching of religions, we can see that they have tried, directly or indirectly, to provide solace and healing messages to address the existing conflicts at the time of their emergence and to heal those who were affected. When I became a monk, I learned all these teachings that comes in Buddhism in my classroom. One such advanced learning was the conditional genesis theory or the dependent origination theory that comes in Buddhism. According to this theory, everything is conditioned by various causes and factors. So everything is changing, everything is interconnected and interdependent. Nothing in this world is absolute. Thank you. It is the common error of human not to see this whole process and come to conclude decisions based on only what he or she sees or hears. Another fascinating teaching was the loving kindness meditation and compassion meditation. There I learned to develop love and care to myself, my loved ones, indifferent people, and then to the conflicting individuals, peoples. Even though I learned all these very valuable teachings in my training, my role as a monk was primarily to do rituals, offer various pujas, and then deliver sermons. It was the high time of the conflict in Sri Lanka. As a young monk who was living in southern part of Sri Lanka, it was part of my religious duty to attend funerals. So I attended many funerals of soldiers who died in the conflict. In most of these places, I heard almost the same kind of sermon by the monks. The soldier who died in the action is a hero who sacrificed his life to safeguard the country. And those who were responsible for their deaths were terrorists. I did not see that conditional genesis theory or loving kindness is in application in those sermons. It was in 1992. My elder brother was serving as a police officer in eastern part of Sri Lanka. It was his duty to go for patrolling the main road in the early morning before opening the roads for people to commute. That is where we lost him. Again in his funeral, I heard the same sermon. My brother was a hero, and those who were responsible were terrorists. Now I am with the pain of losing my elder brother. I didn't know how to overcome it. I have learned in loving kindness meditation to develop love and care to the conflicting person. However, I didn't know how to develop loving kindness to a terrorist. One fine day, I was sitting under a tree alone. It was around 10 p.m. The first time I could develop my thoughts as, whoever who happened to take a gun against my brother, may he or she be well, may he or she be happy, may he or she be free from fear. If that person also is no more in this world, may that person also find the ultimate peace in her journey. There, first time I felt so much of relief. It was like getting rid of a heavy stuff I was continuously carrying in my heart from the day of my brother's departure. There I understood loving kindness meditation is a tool for healing ourselves. I got a chance to be part of a program called Mandela Dialogue. The first workshop happened in Cape Town. The second was in Sri Lanka, in Batticaloa, about 40 kilometers away from the place where my brother faced that unfortunate incident. As part of the activities of the program, we got a few options to select. The one option was to go to meet former combatant. I selected that option. There, I met 5 former combatants from Batticaloa district. First time in my life. 3 men and 2 women. When I heard their stories, particularly the story of Jayakala, a widow, it was very difficult for me to bear it. It was difficult for me to bear because the story I had heard about them over the media and the actual story was so different. The conditional genesis theory I learned in the classroom suggests that everything and everyone is conditioned by various factors. It suggests that no one is born to this world to take a gun or to do harmful things. If one happened to do that, it is the failure of so many other factors. I understood that if Jayakala got a good atmosphere to grow, where her identity is respected and accepted, her future was assured. She would not have taken that path. In conclusion, yes, religion offers so many things to heal and connect. It is for us to identify them and put into practice. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Venerable, for sharing and opening up to your own personal experience of dealing with the loss of your elder brother. Well, I remembered now as we were discussing, Talia and I, whether I should go or she should go, because we are beyond the timing, that I'll continue in English because now we'll move to English in the questions also. I remembered that when I was in Action for Life 1, the leadership training program in India and Southeast Asia, I was really full of myself. I was 20 years old and thinking that I know everything and I don't need anyone to teach me something new, and especially those strange religions of the East. And then a Hindu, an honorable man from South India, came to me out of nowhere and he said, do you know why you have so many wars in the Middle East? I said, why? He said, because you speak about God instead of speaking to God. and he left. And ever since, I transmit this wisdom to all my students. But what is so amazing about this morning is that with our three speakers, we have traveled from the Middle East to the Americas, to the Far East, and we knew through their wisdom how they are dealing with situations in a way that proves that this is the kind of people who speaks to God far more than speaking about Him. And that's from their fruits that we can know them. And I ask myself, how in initiatives of change can we make more effort to shed the light on this kind of religious practice rather than the horrible, horrifying sights that we witness, especially during the past few years through terrorism, etc. And now I will hand it to Talia and get back to you later.